The cell's organelle responsible for protein synthesis is the ribosome. It is comprised of a dense network of proteins and RNA molecules that direct the assembly of amino acids into complete proteins. Ribosomes are made up of two subunits made up of ribosomal proteins and ribosomal RNA molecules. These interact together to form a single unit structure. The larger and smaller subunits of the ribosome are responsible for carrying out two different roles in translating mRNA to form a protein. The smaller subunit binds to the mRNA and decodes it, while the larger subunit binds the amino acids forming the protein. The ribosome can be described as a factory that assembles the components needed to build a protein. When mRNA enters the ribosome, it is scanned for start and stop signals that tell the ribosome which amino acids to add to the protein chain. The ribosome reads the instructions in the mRNA in groups of 3 base pairs, called codons. For each codon, the ribosome finds the tRNA molecule with the complementary anticodon and adds the associated amino acid to the growing protein. The ribosome continues this process until it reaches a stop signal, and the newly formed protein is released. Protein synthesis is a vital process for the cell, as the proteins produced drive many of the essential biochemical processes of the cell. The process of protein synthesis can also be regulated by regulatory proteins and specific signals. This allows the cell to turn protein production on and off, or to produce different proteins in response to the different needs of the cell. Protein synthesis is also necessary for the growth and division of cells. Without the mechanism of protein synthesis, cells could not divide and organismal functions would rapidly cease. Protein synthesis is carried out in the cell's cytoplasm, which is the primary site of protein formation. Ribosomes are located both freely in the cytoplasm and attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. These ribosomes can move around the cell as needed to increase production of certain proteins. The endoplasmic reticulum also helps with protein synthesis by providing additional structures and materials needed for the translation process. It also helps transport the completed proteins to where they are needed in the cell. The organelle responsible for protein synthesis is the ribosome, and it is optimized for the efficient production of proteins. Ribosomes interact with other cell structures, such as the endoplasmic reticulum, to ensure that the proteins synthesized are correctly produced and transported. Protein synthesis is essential for the growth, division, and cellular functioning of the cell, and is a vital process in living organisms. Ribosomes can be found throughout the cytoplasm and on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, allowing them to move around the cell and increase protein production. mRNA is the template used by the ribosome to produce a protein, and codons are read by the ribosome in sets of 3. Each codon is read, and the corresponding tRNA molecule is used to add the associated amino acid to the growing protein chain.